Hi guys, it's Still Inspector here. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys what I personally would put my first $100 into crypto investing. These are coins that I've personally chose, and as you can see on this spreadsheet, we've got projections for 2025 and 2030. I'll go over all of these coins in this video and the reasons behind these projections. Also, I want to talk a little bit about the consensus of these coins, and then we'll talk about scaling for further investments. So let's get right into the video and start off with Bitcoin. So out of $100, we're going to be investing $30 into Bitcoin. This is the largest chunk out of the $100 that we have to spend, and this is just because Bitcoin is a solidified crypto. I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon, and it's probably going to be at the top of the crypto world for whoever knows how long. You know, maybe it might just stay at the top for forever. Obviously, as I said, we have $30 here, and if I highlight this, we can see that the projections into 2025. I want to talk about this firstly, and then we'll go projections for 2030. So currently, if we look at the Bitcoin price, we're around $21,000. We've obviously seen a high of $60,000. That was back in 2021, but I don't see that happening for another 2-3 years maybe. So that brings us up to 2025. I definitely think there's going to be a bull run after the next halving of Bitcoin, which is in 2024. Normally, these halvings cause price increases just because of the scarcity of the coin increases. So as you can see, I put my projection at $135 at $90,000 a coin. This is going up roughly around 450%. Now that's not out of the realm of possibility. You know, we've seen bull runs from 10,000 up to 60,000. So that's a 6 times increase. So 4.5 times increase isn't unheard of. And I think maybe we can even push it further. These estimates are kind of based off the safe side of crypto investing. What I generally think we could hit. If I was to go, oh, we could just have $1 million Bitcoin. Yeah, I could have just said that, but it wouldn't be realistic. So I think $90,000 for 2025 is a good choice. Now, if we move on to projections for 2030, as you can see, we have a price of $300. So your $30 investment is basically going to 10x to $300. And a price of Bitcoin of $200,000 per coin. So I think we're going to see a price increase in the next run, which will probably be around 2025. And then after that, we have to wait till about 2028 for the next run. Personally, I believe if we can hit 90,000 in the first run, we can definitely hit 200,000 in the second bull run of the crypto market. Now, also, I want to talk about consensuses on the last row here. We can see that the consensus is proof of work. Obviously, I have a lot of proof of work coins on here, but we'll go into why proof of work is probably the best way to invest into crypto. So proof of work basically works off of miners, and then proof of stake obviously works off of stakers. Proof of work is basically the first crypto consensus, and I'm a bit biased towards proof of work, so maybe take that into consideration. Personally, I think proof of work will still be the consensus going forward. This is because you can always link it back to an energy expenditure, and then that kind of solidifies the price. You can always link the price back to the energy expenditure of the network. Obviously that can go down and up, but for the most part, there'll be a certain number of miners on at all times. So that's what I kind of base proof of work off, and that's why I think it's going to be better than proof of stake going forward. And that's why you see a lot of proof of work coins on this list. So next coin we have up is Ethereum. We're only putting $15 into this just because I feel like Ethereum with this merge is going to be a bit of a wild card to predict. It could just all tank, or it could just go way further than I expected. Obviously, as you can see here, we have only got $15, but the projections for 2025, I think that Ethereum is still going to be linked to Bitcoin at that point. So we're going to see the same kind of percentage increase. Right now, Ethereum's price is at $1,700, but I think it can definitely hit $8,500 in the next, 5 years when Bitcoin has that bull run. The thing that I'm not so certain about is that after that bull run, is Ethereum going to stick with Bitcoin throughout the price increase? So the next bull run for the 2030 kind of range, that would be 2028, 2029, I think Ethereum is going to taper off a little bit just because of the staking that's coming into the network. I think it's going to taper off to around $10,000, so not much of a price increase after 2025. You'd still earn $100 in your investment from $15, but I think that the staking is actually going to dilute the price of the coin and over time start to take the price of the coin down Now the reason that I picked $8,000 for the projection is that we've obviously seen around $5,000 for the price of Ethereum, as we can see here, but I think that the next bull run will see maybe a doubling of that, or maybe a 1.5 increase in price. So next up we have Ethereum Classic. Now Ethereum Classic is basically a fork of Ethereum. If you're in the space you would know this, it's a kind of common known thing. Ethereum Classic, if this merge goes wrong, then Ethereum Classic will probably be the next coin up. Just because it has kind of a similar code to Ethereum, you can pretty much put anything on Ethereum that you can put on Ethereum Classic. They're one in the same with a little bit of editing to the code, but not too dissimilar to each other. That's why I'm putting $10 into it, and I think that we're going to see a projection of around $50 out of that $10 investment. This brings the price of one Ethereum Classic coin to $150. If we look at the price right now, we see a price of $36 per coin, but at its peak it did hit around $130. So there is potential to get to $150 by 2025. We just need to see a little more adoption of this coin. Obviously it's in the shadow of Ethereum right now, but I think with this merge we're going to see more adoption of this coin. We've already seen the hash rate migration, we've seen a doubling of that, and the price of this coin has actually doubled in the last, something like 2 weeks, something like that. So I think it's very reasonable to say that we would 5x our money on Ethereum Classic. And then if we move on to the 2030 prediction, I think it would definitely double after that in the next bull run. So out of the $10 investment, we're going to see $100 out of that. And that would put the price of one Ethereum Classic coin at $300. So basically we're seeing a 10x from today's price. And it's not too far of a stretch that we could see definitely a $300 coin out of this. Obviously we've seen Ethereum hit $4,000, so Ethereum Classic kind of has the potential to do that. Next on the list we have Decentraland, and I'm just going to go ahead and say that this is probably my prediction for any of these metaverse coins. So you can have Sandbox, Engine Coin, stuff like that. I think that the metaverse will be great, but I don't really see it catching on in the next 10 years. I think it still needs a lot of development into the metaverse, and it needs kind of this mainstream injection of cash and stuff like that, so we can really build a really good metaverse. Because right now they're not actually very good. There's no incentive to actually play. You have to get into it early for you to actually earn some money. Otherwise, after that, it's basically pennies. So that's why I'm only putting $5 into it. I do see in the next bull run we'll see a doubling of this, so we'll have, out of the $5 investment, we'll have $10, and the price of one Decentraland coin would be $1.60. Right now it's at 84 cents, and if we click on the all-time chart, we have seen it at around $5. This is just because of hype though. As soon as the hype came in, people started getting onto these metaverses, and then they realized it's not actually that good, isn't really productive to the crypto ecosystem. There needs to be more incentive to get onto these games, and needs to hold some actual value to play in these games if they really want to create that metaverse that they're on about. And then if we look at the projections for 2030, I think we'll see a flush out of, a 10x for this coin, just because we've seen this coin at highs of around $5. I think it can definitely hit $16 per coin by 2030. Obviously there's going to be a 20x from our original investment of $5 to $100. And I think it's possible that by then we're going to see a growth of these metaverses, and they're actually going to come into fruition. But after that, I think that these metaverse coins are definitely going to explode further than, coins that I've listed here, like Ethereum or Ethereum Classic. Now this next coin that I've chosen is Kadena, and I'm really excited about Kadena and what it holds for the future. This is probably the one I'm most bullish on, either that or Flux. So we obviously have a $15 investment into this, and the projection for 2025 is going to be $100. So that's around, 7.5x your money, 7x your money maybe. And it's going to be at around $11 a coin. Kadena right now is only at $1.70. And it has had highs of around $24 per coin. And that was obviously in the bull run, but I think that its actual price right now should be around $7. So it's not too far of a reach to say we could see an $11 coin by 2025. Now the big thing that I want to talk about is my 2030 projection for this coin. By 2030, I think that we'll see $100 a coin for this coin, which should put us at around, something like 40x our money, something like that. out of that $15 investment, we're going to have $900. The reason that I think it's going to $100 a coin is because it's a layer 1 blockchain with all the features of a layer 2 blockchain. It's got scaling, it's got decentralization, and it's also got security on the network. And most layer 1s don't have the scaling involved. And that's really the draw for Kadena, is that the scaling is great on it. It can actually scale unlimitedly based on their new coding that they actually built for the coin. And that's why I think that Kadena in the future is going to be one of those really top coins, like top 5, even top 3 maybe. Next up we have Ergo. Now Ergo is one of those coins that is in the mining space a lot. We only have an investment of $10 into it, and I don't really see it growing too much unless it gets mainstream adoption in the next 2 years, something like that. So for 2025, I'm going to just put it as a doubled in price. Right now it's currently at around $3.17, and if we click back, we're going to see a projection of $6 per coin with a $20 increase in investment. So from your $10, you'll get $20 by 2025. Now my projection for 2030 is kind of the same. It's going to 3x by 2030, but it's not going to be picked up by the mainstream. Unless it has real mainstream uses and real mainstream injection, I don't think that Ergo is going to go too far. Obviously in the mining space, Ergo is kind of looked at as this top 5 coin to mine, and I just think it needs way more adoption, but there are good stuff on the network like dApps that are helpful to the network, and they are great. But I think coins like Kadena and Flux are kind of taking over that space, and I've already built these dApps that are better than the ones on Ergo. Now the last coin I want to talk about is Flux coin. We're doing a $15 investment into this just because I think that this coin is going to be one of those top 5 coins like Kadena. It's got a great ecosystem, and the main feature of Flux is the parallel assets and nodes. So parallel assets are basically paid out to miners or Flux node holders, and they are set on different chains. So they have a parallel asset with Ethereum, Kadena, Ergo, Binance Coin, Tron, and all these coins that are interlinked into the Flux ecosystem. This means that you can basically use Flux on any other chain, and it allows you to actually build into those chains. The best thing about it is that they're connected to Kadena. So technically you can use Flux on these Kadena platforms as well. Same with Kadena and Flux, you can use Kadena on a Flux platform. Now obviously we have a big chunk of $15 invested into this. I don't think we're going to see great projections for 2025, but 2030 is definitely going to be big projections. From the $15, we're going to get $45 by 2025, which is a coin price of $9. If we look on the chart here, the price of one Flux coin is sitting at around $1 or 95 cents. We have seen in the past that we have a price of this coin of around $3. That's the peak that it hit, but it's only an early coin. As you can see, it was only made back in 2019. So for 2025, I think we'll see a slight price increase, but I think that the massive bull run will be in 2030 for this coin. This is where we're going to see real adoption of Flux and Kadena and those ecosystems that they have built. We're going to see a price of $500 for your investment and $110 per coin. That's going to be somewhere around 50x your money. So from a $15 investment to $500 is a lot. Now the last thing I want to highlight is the total amount that you are projected to get after you've put the $100 into all of these coins. This is going off the projections of 2025 and obviously for 2030. So the total we have for 2025, if you invested $100, you would get $445 back. And if you invested this amount by 2030, I think we'd see an investment back of $2,060. Now, the things I want to talk about is this is only $100. Obviously, it's a small amount of money, but you can scale it up by just adding a zero. So if you're scaling for $1,000, we're going to see a price increase of $4,450 back by 2025. And for 2030, we're going to see around $20,000 back. Now, if we scale that up to $10,000, I think we're going to see $44,500 for your projections of 2025. And for 2030, we're going to see a massive $206,000 from $10,000 investment. So it's all about how much you put in. Obviously, you can put these numbers towards any amount of money and just do the math on which ones are actually split into which percentages. With Bitcoin obviously being the biggest one that we have a share of, we're going to have that as safety. Ethereum, Kadena and Flux are the second biggest ones, and I think those will be the next future ones. If Ethereum fails, then we still have Kadena and Flux, which are going to be definitely the coins of the future. Then we have Ergo and Ethereum Classic. I think they're both good coins. We just need to see more adoption of them. Ethereum Classic has been sitting in the shadow of Ethereum for a while now, and if it does break out, then I think that we could see a price increase for Ethereum Classic. With Ergo, I just don't think it has the adoption there, but if it does bring in developer adoption, then I think we can see a way bigger price increase than I've predicted here. And lastly, with Decentraland, we're just going to take that risk of $5. As I said, that could be for any other metaverse coin like Sandbox. I think that all these metaverse coins will just explode at one point. I think from 2025 to 2030 and onwards, we're going to see an explosion of metaverse coins. So you can basically put your money into any metaverse coin and I think it will see a price increase. So that's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this invest in your first $100 into crypto. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and let me know your opinion on what you think of this. And don't forget to join the Discord where I'm going to be doing weekly updates for crypto and crypto mining, just what's in the news, you know, what coins I think will be popping off in the next couple of days or weeks or months. So you can click the link in the description below and join that. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content like this.